Playing basketball.
Barry ain't coming.
Barry said he can't tonight, so but Corey might pop up. So let's go ahead.
Barry ain't coming in tonight.
Barry not coming in tonight. So
man, I need all kinds of support because CJ on your goddamn side, B Dix.
Well, again, there ain't no really size, man. We just
ain't no size.
Please. Who you talking to, man? Like I told you, I've been watching the show for a while. I know where CJ lies at. I know where his loyalty lies. Ain't that right, CJ? I ain't tripping.
Ain't no size.
Ain't no size, bro.
We all do our different thing.
So when I call on you to be on my side, you gonna be on my side?
Why I gotta be a side? Why
on my side?
Why I gotta be opposite?
Show. Because if Corey come on, he gonna be on your fucking side as a lender.
You know that person again,
My bad. Why'd you go live right now? Backstage.
All right. So let's go ahead and get it started, man. Let's go ahead and start. Who wants to start off? CJ?
You start.
I mean, we can do it.
Yeah. So. Yep.
All right, what's up, good people? CJ the Realtor, broker owner, Greenwood Realty Group. You see it right here on the shirt. So follow me on social media at CJ Sales Texas at CJSELLSTX. Follow me on there. Let's connect on there. Check out the website, greenwoodrealtytx.com. If you're looking for what's available in Houston or if you want to join the team, we're looking to add some rockstar agents. So hit us up on the website, greenwoodrealtytx.com. Also, check out the YouTube channel, the CJ the Realtor. We're doing our Home Tours Luxe Edition, where we're showing you some of the best and finest that Houston and surrounding areas have to offer. So we're going not just to Houston, we're going out in the suburbs, checking out some of these luxury homes, just so you can see and get a glance at what Houston really has to offer on the luxury side. So check out the YouTube channel, subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. And if you want to talk real estate, hit me up on my cell, 832-338-3182. Call me or text me if you have any questions, or if you want to talk about more about joining the team, hit me up on there and we can talk more in detail. And then, of course, we always give back. So our nonprofit, the Mansa Academy, where we teach our young men knowledge of self-improvement and entrepreneurship. So if you want to donate, whether it's time or money, we have the forms online. So check us out, themansaacademy.org. We'd appreciate any and all. So that's it for me. So, and then also shout out to Ian Dunlap, because I'm getting on this stock investing too, bro. So, it's all about the long term. So I'm two index and two tech, and get you right. So shout out to Ian if you're looking about and thinking about leveling up. And that's one thing we do with the collaboration over competition is, we're pulling our resources so we can build together. So tap in with us.
Yeah, so you might as well plug the website while you at it. I gotta plug it.
Hey, either way it goes, bro, COCinvestmentclub.com. And that's how we build, man. Like that's what we're all about. So, I mean, you look at the podcast, we got multiple lenders, multiple realtors on the show. So it's not about, competing with each other. It's about building with each other.
Right. Hyman, you want to go ahead? I got to make you some banners, man. So I'm gonna definitely make you some banners next.
What's up, my people, man? I'm grateful to be on the show again. My name is Hyman Lemons with H&L Premier Realty. All I do is help people buy and sell real estate. My focus is primarily investment. If you're looking to invest in real estate, whether it be multifamily or commercial, feel free to reach out to me. Everything that I speak from has come from a commercial perspective or an investment perspective, one way or another. I got my guy CJ. He does a lot of residential. B Dix does a lot of residential lending. So I try to bring a different perspective as far as how the investor may feel, how the seller may feel, or just to give a different perspective, just to argue with these cats to make a great show.
Gotcha.
Man, why Hyman come in with the quiet storm or something?
No, it's just different, Doc. When I get on the show, man, my voice is not as enunciated as you and B Dick. So
he's like, I'm the rhythm in your left thigh.
Right.
The blues on your.
That was a good one. CJ. That was a good one, Doc.
Right. Oh, just for the record, I do commercial and residential lending. We got commercial banks as well. We got over 200 banks in our portfolio. And I do business lines of credit, so up to $1 million, $750 with no collateral. So the bankroll program, we're gonna talk about more of that tomorrow at Wealth Wednesdays in person. So you got a business, that's been in existence and you have a 551 credit score, we can get you financed for a business line of credit. You know, it's about that time that, you know, why dip into your money and you know, it's starting to get tight, go and get your line of credit for those tough times. My name is Brandon B. Dixon, NMLS 1541210. It's at Billionaire Loan, also on all social media, also including that's YouTube as well. So go ahead and follow me. Like CJ alluded to, we have 2 shows. That's going to be Home Tours Lux. That's what CJ and I, we touring some of the best properties in the luxury space, $1 million on up. And I got Behind the Sauce. So I'm showing you the makings of, you know, Brandon B. Dixon Real Estate, and that's a conglomeration with Greenwood Realty. And I'm showing you how I'm building up the home ownership community. And I'm showing you how I'm building up a host of my other businesses. So, you know, so watch me, you know, this is all from scratch. This is all from, you know, this grind, you know, so this is nothing's given. You're going to see this Behind the Sauce. So you're going to get some jewels every episode. So with that being said, go to my website, www.applywithb, if you want to book me for a consultation or you want to apply for a mortgage. Call me anytime, 832-775-8357. Call me 24/7. I'm around the clock. So as long as it's about business, I'll take an application at 1 a.m. I'm married to this thing, so it is what it is. Go to my website, whatstodaysrates.com, if you want to figure out what's today's rates. Also, Chris already alluded to COC Investment Club, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug the last thing. Well, Wednesdays at the Cannon. So tomorrow we catch me live at the Cannon, 7:30 to 8:30. We're gonna go over some private equity banking. We're gonna go over side hustles. We're gonna go over a couple of different things. So I know a few people already booked up for the tickets. So we, you know, expecting a good turnout tomorrow since we missed last time. So Well Wednesdays tomorrow at the Cannon. Join us live. So let's go and get started, man.
Hey, real quick, I want to give a shout out to my boy Tyran Jackson that just commented. He's out of Georgia, but man, he has an amazing book, Reborn Resilient.
Right.
And it's, man,
Have you read it?
this brother's been through so much and has
really?
overcome so much. Like, there is no excuse for you not to be great out here. So get his book, check it out, read it, and then tap in with him. He has some master classes and things too. So he's doing some dope work to help a lot of people out. So shout out to my boy Ty.
Right. Let's go and get it started, man. I want to talk about today 2 different topics. So I'm gonna try to squeeze this in. I know we got started late, so let's go and get started on this. I want to talk about, especially in our space, you know, and all it is easy to get in, and it is, you know, to get in, and you don't really have to have that much skill to be licensed in this particular piece. So a lot of customers, they go for the shiny object. It might look good, the package might look good, but what's inside that package? You know, one of the key things that could save you lots of money and that could actually save your deal or make or break your deal is negotiation. You know, being able to negotiate a deal, being able to negotiate terms, being able to what my mentor used to call the internal customer, deal with internal customers as well. And internal customers is, for those who don't know, that's your title company, that's your inspector, and to manage all of that stuff. A lot of people don't know how to negotiate the time and manage the time. So is this a skill that's something that you got to build up, or is this an art form that you naturally given and you're naturally a bulldog, something you could wing and fling, you know, and actually be good at, or is it a combination of both? So let's talk about negotiation in our business, and you know, and I wanted to elaborate, not to say answer one way or another. If it is, then why?
I mean, we learn, as toddlers. So I got an almost 2-year-old at the house,
right?
And she's a master negotiator. Like, she gonna fuss until she get what she want.
Right.
So it starts young, but if you don't sharpen that tool, then you don't progress. So a lot of people, and for real estate agents, real estate school basically teaches you not like how not to get sued. It doesn't teach you how to do a deal. It doesn't teach you how to negotiate. So you got to take it upon yourself to say, hey, I need to add more tools to my tool belt. I need to do better to provide a better service to my client. So they got things like I got the RENE, real estate negotiating expert. They got things like that for you to take. So it's all about how you use what you got and improve upon it to be a better service to your client, in my opinion.
So is it a skill or is it an art?
I would say it's a skill. It has to be learned.
And
then after it's learned, it has to be, over time, has to be mastered.
Gotcha. So you said it's a skill because it has to be learned.
Right.
Gotcha. All right, Hyman, what you got? Skill,
Man,
art.
Goodness gracious, is it a skill or is it an art? I think it's a little bit of both.
Right.
The skill part of it is to understand the parameters of negotiation, right? When we're looking at negotiating a deal, when we're negotiating, we're negotiating either price, we're negotiating time of close, we're negotiating title policy, we're negotiating option period, we're negotiating
survey.
Thank you, CJ. Good deal. We're negotiating those terms, right? So yes, there is a level of skill to understand, well, okay, if you make the first call as far as price, then you're damn near you're negotiating from a lesser standpoint versus you just waiting for the opposing or the seller to say what is the price, right? So that skill of knowing how to say, well, you tell me your price, and you have to learn how to wait and be patient and let them say, you don't say anything and you don't speak until they say what their number is. That's a skill that you got to learn how to be patient. The art of negotiation is the understanding the nuances of body language, the understanding the nuances of where they're coming from as far as their reasoning for selling, their reasoning for trying to get to that price, their reasoning for who actually makes the decision in the process, whether it be the husband or the wife. Those simple nuances, those are things you have to kind of know from just doing transactions over time. Husband sees it one way, wife sees it another, and it depends on what the dynamic is, tells you who does what when. So it's a little bit of both for me. You do need to learn how to negotiate so you can understand the what I just told you, the example of who makes the offer first as far as the price. Also, you got to understand who makes the decision maker in between the power couple, if it's a couple. If it's a single man, where is he coming from? What is his reasoning for purchasing? You got to be able to dig into that person within 45 seconds to know he's reasoning for his buying because he's trying to build wealth or he's just trying to get the best deal because he doesn't have any money. As agents, we got to identify that. We got to identify that quickly. So that's a skill that you learn over time. The ability to make a person feel like they trust you is an art that just comes from your personality, what God gave you. So I'm of the mindset that it's I want to say it's a 60-40. 60 learn, 40 of art.
Well, I think it's all skill until you master it, and then you can become artful with that skill. If that makes sense.
That is very true. That is a tough one, dog, because there are so many deals that are lost in the negotiation table. And for me, coming from the perspective of I deal with primary with investments.
Right.
So who gives a fuck how the seller feels? We just trying to get to a number, and if the seller don't like that number, who cares? And at the end of the day,
and then at the same time, you're negotiating even before you get to the deal because you're talking to your client like, hey, what's your high, what's your low?
Right.
So you know what window you got to work with.
Yeah, tell them.
If it comes to that point where, hey, this is on the higher end and we got a lot of competition looking at this, how high are you willing to go?
Yeah, and that's where we're coming from. So when we present to a seller from this perspective, it's like either you take it or you don't. If you take it, then this is what we're gonna do. And if you don't, then no harm, no foul. I wish you the best. But when I'm dealing with from I'm gonna say from CJ's perspective, as far as dealing with mostly residential, you're dealing with so many emotions. You're dealing with the fact that they want this house on the table. So you can't be as hard and as abrupt as I would be. Like, hey, look, I can tell a residential buyer, hey, look, man, if we're going to negotiate this thing, you got to be willing to walk away. If you're not willing to walk away, then give them the list price and let's see what we can do during the option period. You know what I mean? Give them list price and let's see what we can do during the option period as far as what the inspection tells us. Because I can't do what I like to do because you got to be willing to walk with me. Because if you're not willing to walk, you're just like, fuck, what are we doing? Just give them this price and let's move on. And CJ, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's facts. Even because I did with a couple of investors too, and I'm like, hey, what's your margin? So as long as we can like find something that fits that margin, it's a go.
Right.
Because every deal is not going to fit exactly what you wanted. But if we can maneuver some and work around, it may not be on the price, but it may be on something on the back end. As long as it meets that margin, then they should be okay with it.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna welcome Corey to the show, and I'm gonna
what up, Corey?
Finish giving my answer and let him elaborate on give his answer as well. So, again, what I was saying is, I think it's a skill that has to be mastered over the years, putting 10,000 hours in, and later it could become an art. And once you get masterful at it, and then you can put style to it and put your style and flair to it, because you can get creative with it at that point. That's what the art comes in, but you got to have the skill in order to be able to execute first. Because
I think even with the art, I think it gets once you get past the I got this down, and it really becomes an art, and it's more fun.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but it's still, like I said, with that skill, you got so many different layers, and you got so many different nuances, as far as skill. A lot of what y'all talking about more the sales process than actual negotiation. And when I'm talking about negotiation, you got to know, and you got to be researched enough to know where you stand. A lot of people don't realize most of my deals, as far as a loan officer, I push through. You know what I'm saying? Until I got on the broker side, especially on the retail side, I don't see how people still a retail loan officer. Damn near every deal, I have to get on the horn and push this through. And they'll be perfect deals. Underwriter gonna try to be a superhero and try to find out on try to do a feel good condition, and you got to get there and say, hey, why is this condition there? You got to negotiate with them. Hey, you got to sell them like, hey, this isn't there, and you got to have the skill to back it up. Let me show you where this is coming from. The guidelines say this, and the skill comes in is your temperament and the way you get them to realize that they're wrong without telling them they're wrong. So what does this mean to you? I'm reading this. This is what this says. Can you interpret that for me? Okay, so why, if that's the case, then why are we conditioning for this?
Yeah.
I don't know, P. Dix. I'm not a loan officer. I'll let Corey handle it. Because from what you just said, it's about interpretation of conditions or interpretation of a rule, which has in a negotiation, one person wants one thing and another person wants another.
Right.
On the interpretation of a rule, you both are trying to meet the same thing. You're just trying to prove them wrong.
No, not necessarily. And I'm gonna get to what I'm saying as far as on the real estate side as well. I'm gonna tell a story here in a second. You jumped me too early.
My bad.
So and as far as to clarify what I'm saying as far as on the loan side, a lot of these, especially on the retail side, and Corey could, a lot of these don't want to. We don't have that. They're almost like we're on the opposite teams. Some of these underwriters trying to turn deals down.
That's their job. My understanding. Their job is to try to find a lie in a borrower.
Their job is supposed to trust but verify.
Trust but verify. That's an oxymoron, B. Dick.
Corey. They're supposed to trust but verify. When you go under that, you're going down a slippery slope.
CJ, what are you talking about? Trust? How does that sound to us as agents? Trust but verify. I have no idea. I'm like,
Hey,
I'd rather you say
that's on
your
their
job
side,
is to
bro.
find me to
Am I
find the
right or
borrower
wrong?
lying to me. Find the borrower that's lying to me, and then we can just
That's
deny
not
the
your
loan and keep
job.
moving.
That you're not a detective. You're an underwriter.
Yeah,
Your job is to trust and verify what's on that application.
right.
When you get to detective, that's now you get subjective. Now, all right, are you doing this? Do you have the same amount of heat for this white couple that you just had? Are you just doing this with this black couple? Now it gotta be blind.
How does they know if they black or white?
It got to
They
be
check
blind,
black
but
or
it
white
ain't
on the
necessarily blind.
application.
Hold on, Corey. I'm just getting Corey back up, and then I want to get back to my story.
It got to
Go
be
ahead.
blind, but it ain't necessarily blind. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right, but they're supposed to be. Am I
It's
correct?
It's supposed to be, but you know what I'm saying? You know, look, when you submit a file on the initial submission, you know what I'm saying? Anybody can look at a driver license and tell who's what. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah, I forgot
like,
about
it takes
Yeah,
all
you're
the guessing. It takes all the guessing work out of it. Now, you talking about a people's business. So you know what I'm saying? Every underwriter is going to be a little bit different. Some going to be biased, some not. It's just the luck of the draw.
Right. But what I was saying is that it's skill to actually negotiate to get this particular underwriter to see the light. And that's how I made my living. It's like, nah, this is, you know, I could give you a billion examples, but you know, just to give you one quick one, let's see one quick one I had last week. This particular underwriter, this was the new construction, but it was built in 22. So we had not only we had the actual land, but we had the improvements. We had the tax bill.
Mm-hmm.
The underwriter felt this was too low. What do you mean? We had the tax bill. So you making up numbers. So we think it should be in the medium around the neighborhood. It should. What are we doing?
So the underwriter turned into the appraiser.
Right. No. We have the improved. We have the improvements.
Yeah,
we have the tax bill with
that's
the
crazy.
That's it.
But that's not a negotiation, though, man. That's
So
just
what is
proving somebody wrong because they looking at it different, wrong.
Right, but in her mind, that hey, this house cost $600,000. Why is with the land with the improvement only $350,000? Because that's how they appraised it.
That's a nasty loophole, which I like very much. So, BD.
But she felt that it should be more. I don't care how
She
you
was,
feel.
and the appraiser was right because it should have been more.
At the
But
same time, you're not
here to argue that part.
You're not the county.
You're not
Correct.
the county.
No, TJ, we're not the county, so we're not arguing that part.
Nope.
But I had to stick it to like she was trying to charge the customer more. Like the tax should be this, and then now he doesn't qualify. No. This is what it has to be.
Right. Shout out to Matthew, Trust but Verify. He co-signed it.
Right. So
yeah.
I mean, people that's in the business don't know what I'm talking about, but that's not
I
your job. When you go down that other route, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope. You can't do that. Your job is not to be a detective.
Right.
You know, so and I'm gonna say this to say this. I went to tell a story. A well-known, I'm referral partners with a well-known, I'm not gonna name them names, with a well-known agent. And this particular builder kicked the can down the road several times. And we were supposed to close the day before closing. Oh, the builder don't got the CO. The builder don't have this, the builder don't have that. And we were closed. We were clear to close 3 weeks. You know, so by definition, if you look at the actual and the before I get to that, we had already extended them twice. I gave him one free extension, gave him another extension. We were about to go on our third extension. So I'm telling her, hey, this is gonna be this much. So instead of negotiating with the actual builder, she tried to squeeze me. Why are you squeezing me? I'm reading numbers on the page. Ain't no negotiating with this. This is extensions cost X amount per the deal. That's just what this is.
In that situation, a lot of borrowers don't understand the cost of how the rates change every day.
Right.
And every day that you go past your lock rate,
every day
it changes, right? And to be honest with you, man, that's a hard discussion to have. And I can imagine as a lender, for you guys to have that discussion. It's like, dang, your skill set got to be on par to have that discussion.
Well, nah, the energy was misdirected. You're trying to negotiate with the wrong party. You should be negotiating with the builder because it's the builder's fault that we're not ready to close.
Well, even if the builder's not ready to close, they feel more comfortable talking to you about it, which can kind of lead to a fact that you've done a great job throughout the process. Where like, look, can you help me here? Versus dealing with the big boy, which is the builder.
Well, that's my point. If you'd have understood the parameters of the deal from the get-go, then you could have actually orchestrated the deal better.
Who should have orchestrated deal
the agent? CJ, am I wrong? The agent, as the sales agent, you were the quarterback of the whole deal.
Well, remember, the sales agent represents the builder. The sales agent doesn't represent that
I'm talking
buyer.
about the sales agent as far as that represents the buyer. It's all called sales.
Oh,
Don't forget that.
So who? Well, in that retrospect, coming from where I come from, representing a buyer in new construction, you are handcuffed. You're handcuffed, right? If you don't like it, you just say, "Well, we got to walk." If you don't like these terms, we just can't don't put no earnest money down. You just walk, because once you sign these documents, we're stuck. There's very little wiggle room that I have to try to get you out of this deal or to get you an extension.
Let me finish the story before you cut it out because they get bits and pieces.
Okay, my bad.
I was gonna say at the same time, these builders know, even the builders know, real estate is a relationship-based business.
Right.
So if they want to continue working with realtors and doing right by people, like they have to do right by people to continue that relationship. So it's up to that realtor to push that builder, or not even push, but even just speak with them, just on the negotiation side. It's like, hey, like, you're pushing this out, but this is the situation. How can we make this work? Instead of just, hey, you're the lender. You may not have control over the interest rates, but I still need you to do something about it. You know what I mean?
I agree with you on that retrospect, CJ. My issue is that the quote unquote the builder's representative, they're just collecting a paycheck. They're not really trying to fight for that deal because they got multiple deals coming behind them. As far as from the lending perspective, when you bring an outside lender in, you're fighting an uphill battle from day one because you brought an outside lender in, and you're fighting tooth and nail.
Well, you're getting off in the weeds. Well, let me finish.
Oh, my bad.
You're getting off in the weeds.
But real quick before you start, B.
Talk about it, CJ. Talk about it, CJ.
Even if you bring an outside lender in, and the builders at fault are responsible for extending the closing, that's still on them.
You're right. But how do you fight them to say this is your fault? Right? Because at the end of the day, the buyer still wants that product.
Even if it is their fault, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be hard to get them. If you go with an outside lender, it's going to be hard to get them to do anything. Because they already feel a certain kind of way because you went with an outside lender and not theirs.
Exactly. Damn. But then comes a premise on whether negotiation is a skill or art.
What art is there to show in that situation? You know, what we do is so situational. If we were just talking just agent to agent with regular lenders, yes. But when you're dealing with the big boys, a Lennar, a DR Horton, a History Home, a KB, shit, even with these mid-level builders, the one that B wanted to bring on board, you still have a level of, and I don't want to say anxiety, but hesitance to try to go ahead and fight this shit, because at the end of the day, your buyer still wants the house.
Right.
But that's what you.
At the same time, it's a skill. It's a skill to put an employee on your team to fight for you, even though they work for another company.
I disagree with
I totally understand where you coming from, CJ.
No, I disagree with Hyman said. I'm gonna have to mute you, man, because
I can mute myself.
Because it's supposed to be, isn't it obedience, loyalty? Isn't that one of the
that's for realtors. That's for realtors. B, salespeople for builders are not realtors. They are employees.
No. I get that. I'm talking about the buyer's agent. When you sign up to represent that buyer, ain't it supposed to be old car?
Yeah.
Right? That's the acronym, right? Old car. So why are you scared to go to fight for your client when it's their fault?
At the end of the day, you still have the product, which is the house that they want.
I'm gonna have to mute you, bro.
I
Because you're going off on a tangent.
Don't do me like that, B Dix.
I'm trying to get to a point here. And I just want to finish the story. By squeezing the lender because you feel that the lender is beneath you, and it's just misdirected energy. You should have your negotiation skills, and you should have your contract intact to go ahead and go up against that lender because that's what go up against that builder because that's what you promised to your client, especially when they're in the wrong.
True,
Yeah.
That is very true.
Yeah. So like he was saying, like that, like the buyer was clear to close for like 3 weeks is what you said.
We did our job.
So they was clear to close for 3 weeks, and then the builder has to extend. So at that point, why did you go back to the lender trying to get money when the builder's been ready?
That's my point.
That is
because
true.
Because she didn't have the skills, or she was scared, and she knows she didn't have the skills to go up against the big boys.
That is true. I mean, what skills do you have?
She figured I was low hanging fruit.
Okay, so at the end of the day, coming from that agent's perspective, right? I know that they're not ready. I have to still go talk to the buyer and say, hey, look, the builder's not ready. Yes, the lender is going to charge you extra. If we walk, you still lose your money and you lose the house. If we walk. The builder has millions of dollars. They got millions of dollars. If you want to fight, I will fight with you. I have no problem with fight with you because you are right. But you got to understand, you could lose this house and you could still lose your money.
Well, that's what the builder wants because
but here's the thing. We're talking about the art of negotiation versus a skill or an art. As a realtor, you have to know in the beginning, hey, look, if they don't do what they say they're going to do, we still behind the 8 ball.
Now, my thing is the agent, if you represent that buyer, you should have did your research on that particular builder and know, hey, they're notorious for not doing what they say they're going to do and not closing on time. So, if the buyer likes that house, then what can I please finish? Can I please finish?
My bad. Go ahead.
Can I finish my thought, please? I got to get Kanye on, man. So, as the agent, in my opinion, you should have done your research and communicated to all internal customers. Hey, as the lender, hey, we might want to extend the lock or not even lock at all because this builder, by our contract, could delay up to 6 months. You should communicate that with us. And should have known that instead of, oh snap, I didn't know this was there. Now I don't have a leg to stand on. And everything is already in motion. You see what I'm saying? So I need to know, be familiar with this contract and know what my client's signing. And be able to communicate that with all parties. Hey, listen, so he can make an educated decision. Like, hey, listen, he says April or May, but he got all the way up until November. So I wouldn't lock the lock until we actually ready. That way we wouldn't have got this in the beginning. And then secondly,
and that's the thing too.
Hold on 1 second. Even if I stepped in it, it's not. It was. You know why magicians throw the smoke bomb? They throw the smoke bomb, boom, so they can hurry up and run out the side. It's a misdirection.
Distraction.
It's a distraction. So you getting on the phone with him 3-way trying to chew me out about something I already did my job for is a distraction and it's misdirection to the for your lack of skill because you scared to go up the big boy because you know you don't have a leg to stand on and you know you didn't do your job.
But then that's where the negotiation comes to play too.
Go, CJ. My bad. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's where negotiation comes to play too because if you're a good agent, you're gonna tell your client, hey, if you go with a builder, this is what happens, and all. Like you explain all the nuances. But at the same time, you need to let that salesperson know that works for that builder. Hey, it's still a relationship, not just a relationship-based business. It's a business based on reputation. So if your reputation is trash, who's gonna mess with you? So if you do a bad job with my client, and I'm a realtor in a city that has 50,000 other realtors, and I let them know what's going on, how many other realtors gonna mess with you?
I'll be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? When you
Go
talk
after him,
about
Corey.
when you talk
What?
about
Hold on,
building,
Corey. Whose side you on? Whose side you on? My side or you on their side?
it don't matter about size. Look, hey, mute him, B. Mute him. Mute that.
I need to build this guy, man. Come on, man. We trying to get some points out.
Look, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to these builders, they don't care about reputation, not when you got a line out the door of people
The big
lined
ones
up
do.
trying to get a house, right? So you know what I'm saying, if you are a smaller builder, okay, yeah, you know what I'm saying, maybe you care a little bit. If you DR Horton or you Perry or somebody like that and you have one bad experience, they don't care.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, they're banking on the fact that majority of the people that essentially they screw over don't have the means to go after them and sue them in a court of law. Period.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying, and then especially if you come in as one agent that's done one deal that they barely just saw you, and they're not banking on you coming back with more deals, I think they handle that a little bit different.
Right. And then the top it off is that the agent really didn't do her job. She didn't notify the customer of all the nuances.
So you putting this all on the agent for?
Well, it's the builders as well. You know, ultimately they dropped the ball, but however, with the customer being uninformed that hey, they could kick the can down 6 months and they don't have to. Why did you notify them that when the worst came to worst? If we'd have known this up front, don't forget, I'm just the lender. I'm not reading your contract through and through. Your agent, that's your agent job to read your contract through and through and communicate to me like, hey, listen, this builder right here, he might not close on time. So I wouldn't lock if I were y'all.
Man, you know the agent don't want to read that contract no more than the buyer.
But that's the thing.
No.
That's what we're talking about. Negotiation is a skill. That's part of your job. That's part of your skill set.
No.
Being cocked and armed with the guns. Because she didn't know she had no gun. She thought she had a gun, but she really didn't. When she really read that contract.
She had that.
And then shout out to Matthew because he was saying the Realtor Group is the strongest lobbyist group in Texas. So we got TreePack and TreePack, and we got a lot of things. Well, a lot of things TreePack is doing that fights for realtors and for homeowners in Texas. So
that is true.
Yeah. So shout out to them because they do a lot of lobbying. And actually, a lot of people don't know I'm in the Texas Real Estate Leadership Program, and we actually are going to Austin next month.
What? Go ahead, CJ, man.
So we're going to be up there tapping in with the lobbyists to find out what's going on and what's coming up in the pipe. So,
represent for us, man.
I got you, bro.
Right.
Thank you.
So, kicking out.
B Dix, you are wrong. 100%. B Dix, you are wrong.
Right.
I have been muted for the past a minute and a half. Let you and Corey and you talk and let CJ say his 45 seconds of discussion.
All right, go ahead. Rebuttal. I was going to let Corey go in, but go ahead, rebuttal that.
Corey, you got something to say?
Well, he ain't even get to his point yet.
You got to your point yet, Corey?
Through your passion, you know what I'm saying? I'll let you go ahead and go. Get it off your chest, bro. Get it off your chest.
I'm a mute.
The topic tonight is, negotiation.
You done muted him.
I didn't mute him yet. So
I gotta be respectful to my fellow colleagues.
All right, now I'm gonna mute you. But the topic tonight is negotiation. Is it a skill or art? If so, then why?
Gotcha.
That was a good one, B Dix.
Is it on me? So you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know. I think negotiations is a skill. I don't necessarily understand when you talk about an art. You know what I'm saying? An art as far as what?
Well, a lot of people, and it's a loaded question. I load this stuff. It'd be layered. A lot of people treat this as if it was an art, as if I could just pick up a brush and start painting, as if I could just, jump in a Mustang and go in a Daytona 500. They treat it as if it was an art. That's something that you naturally could do and that you're naturally inclined to. Either you got it or you don't.
I got you.
So, and I'm saying that to say something else, but I want to get everybody's opinion first.
So as far as that goes, I'm saying everybody's personality is different. I do believe that some people just have a knack for it. Like They just automatically have the skill because they've been doing it their whole life in one form or another, right?
Let me ask you this. I'm gonna have to Hyman you. Sorry.
Mute yourself, B. Mute yourself.
Hey, we gotta do this.
My name is associated with
Hit him with the Hyman.
With the Hyman. What else? What skill is automatically natural besides breathing, pooping, and eating? What skill automatically comes natural in life?
So everything is a negotiation, even when you're a kid. Think about when your kids was 5 or 6 years old, right? And they're trying to get you to stop by McDonald's. They're trying to get that ice cream cone. They're trying to, when they get in high school, they're trying to let you get you to let them go to the party. You know what I'm saying? So like these are things, you know what I'm saying, where they've been trying to negotiate. Okay, well, you know what I'm saying, if you let me go to the party, then you know what I'm saying, I'll clean my room for a week or whatever. You know what I mean? So these are negotiations. These are skills that they start learning from an early age.
Well, you said the right skills. Is it something innately in us already?
It is, but you know what I'm saying, not in every one of us, because I think everybody learns a little bit different. Some learn and fine-tune the actual skill, and then some just figure, okay, well, I can't get what I want, I just move on. So it's not a skill that's built in everybody. But you know what I'm saying, I still don't understand the art part, so I'll just let that go. But to me, you know what I'm saying, the skill is a little bit different. Some are just natural born negotiators. Some just, know a knack for people. You know what I'm saying? They understand people and how people tick, how people work, what you can say to get in certain reactions, what you can say to get this, what you can say to get that. And then some people have to learn that over a period of time.
Let me ask you this. Can you practice enough and become Picasso?
Can you practice enough to become Picasso?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Right. So how can it be a skill if you're saying somebody's naturally, some people got it, some people don't?
Because it's something that you do. What you mean?
So that's what I'm saying. You saying it's a skill, but you describe it as if it was an art.
No way. First off, I still don't understand your definition of art. You know what I'm saying? Like you lost me on that one. But when it comes to negotiation, it is absolutely 100% a skill.
Right.
It's just like carving. It's just like carving wood and building cabinets. It's a skill, not an art.
Right. I agree that it's a skill, but when you say some people have it, some people don't. Just like, can I train to become Mozart? Can you train to become Mozart? Yeah. Train hard enough. You train hard, I could be as skilled as Mozart. I could. Mozart was deaf or something. Can I do that without hearing none of this stuff? I don't know about Mozart being deaf and all that other stuff, but all I'm saying is that if you train on a skill long enough, you can become good at it. Now, are you good at somebody else? Maybe not. If I start running every daggone day out here tomorrow, am I going to become an Olympic runner in the next year? No. But I'm saying if I fine tune that skill, I could become a better runner. Right. Just like negotiation. If you fine tune that skill, you can become a better negotiator.
10,000 hours in.
That's it. That's it. I'm not trying to be as good as the next man.
Right. When I say art, I mean, is it where it's effortlessly and it comes naturally?
And that's like
plenty of folks.
And that's the thing is like some things you won't be able to have. Like for me, I can't draw, I can't paint, I can't do none of that. But over time with practice, I could be decent. But if I'm gonna be like a master at it or skilled like to a level above everybody else, it has to be something in me.
I know some people that rap for 10, 20 years and still garbage.
But the question is, are they better than what
rapping is the art
10 years ago?
Like you can have skills that it's an art.
Not just that, off the dome without writing it down. Who can really do that nowadays?
Right. Well, a couple people,
Right. Like you got Jay, Lil Wayne, like they can do it off the dome.
Well, most of the battle rappers can, but that's a different story.
Nah, not all of them can, because a lot of them right there is down too.
Yeah, most of them right, but I said most, not all. But those are the top 10.
We're talking generalities though. We can't go off the one-offs.
Nah, I would say most of the top tier battle rappers. Yeah.
Man, I don't believe that.
Yeah, I'm watching them.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? I'm watching them rebut what somebody just said.
I see, like some of them can.
Right, but anyway, we getting off the point. But my point is that I think art is something that's creative that you can whip out, and you can't really, you could practice at it, but it's still you got the knack to do that. I think my thing is for negotiation. I think it's a skill that if you master, it eventually could become an art. That's what I think. But you got to be very, very skilled at this. I disagree with Corey. You know, not the whole part. I was 10% of it. I think it's a skill that you got to practice as you come better. I don't think that you are innately good at anything.
Hey, Hammond, I got to heal the AI. We're talking about practice.
Right.
Practice.
I want to switch. Let's get this last topic out of the way because we ran a little bit late. Let's get this last topic, 10 minutes, and get it go around the horn. I want to talk about this. It's on the same token, because I'm going to show you how all this relates. Is trust a lost virtue in modern society? And I'm talking about in totality, also as it relates in our specific business in real estate. Is the trust gone?
Yes.
Elaborate.
I mean, just plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? You just asked the question, answer. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's gone. Because the truth of the matter is that, you know what I'm saying, people have gotten screwed over, or people have gotten, they think people have a good heart until they start to see a commission check, what they could get, how much money, and all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then turn around and all that good nature, that ethical behavior, all that stuff goes out the window. So then you start to put a wall up, and then you start to look at the other person. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but you know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily 100% trust that you're going to do that. So you know what I'm saying? I'm going to make sure I protect myself. And I think that's in any industry. Look, it's the whole reason that real estate agents ask for a pre-approval letter before we're going to put you in a car. Like, I hear what you're saying. You good. You want that $300,000 house, but no, I don't trust that. I need to see a letter that you can actually afford that $300,000 house, because realtors have been lied to so many times.
Right.
So I got to disagree to an extent on that, because there's a point where you may have to break down more barriers to get for them to trust you because of past experience. But I think trust is still there, because even though, there are things in the way where people's past experience may put a wall up, but it's still like one of the biggest investments somebody's going to make in their lifetime. So they're going to trust you to a certain extent to help them make this dream or goal happen. So there may be a point where you have to break down more barriers now versus previously years back, just due to experience. But I think that there is still a trust out here, because if you're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a house, you ain't going to just let anybody represent you either.
Right. And it works every time. Every time I set up two opposing questions, it's naturally going to reveal the common ground where I'm trying to go. But I'll let Hyman go in, and then I'll reveal where I'm going with this.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Hey, what's the country of origin?
You make him repeat the question. You asked Trebek. Can you repeat the question, please?
Right. Trust in today's society a lost virtue, and specifically to what in totality, but more specifically to our business, which is real estate.
Okay, give me an example. No, I was just joking.
Can you put that in a sentence for me?
I was just joking, B Dick. That was a good one, dog. That was a good one.
Right.
Yes, it is a lost virtue in totality as agents, because CJ hit on it that people have been burned for centuries. That's the reason why Trek was formed, because people kept getting duped and misled and lied to throughout centuries. Yes, as agents, there is a level of trust that we have to extend first to say, hey, we're here to help you. We're here to look out for your best interest. And to be honest with you, that's a very difficult thing for a person that you just met 2 minutes ago, for them to believe that you're there to look out for their best interest. And to say that we can do that every time, that's hard to say. I'll be honest with you. I know I've lost deals because people just didn't trust me. Maybe because I talked too fast. Maybe because I didn't look like how they wanted me to look as an agent. Maybe because my smile wasn't right. Maybe because my haircut wasn't cut low enough to where they felt like that I was trustworthy. When it comes down to that, as agents, so many small factors play a big ass role in this situation. Be that you, as a lender, I don't think you would ever understand until you get your license and you get out in these streets and say, I am a licensed real estate agent. Don't say that you are a reload, which is a realtor / loan officer. You step on that, just say, I am a realtor side, and you got to talk to him or her or them as a couple and say, I'm trying to do business with you and I want to help you. And you just know me from a dirt in the ground, a piece of dirt on the ground. And that's just a whole nother animal that we deal with. But when you get that trust, you can't betray it. And I think Corey said it best when he talked about when that money come involved. Yes, money is a monster, man, because we all got bills to pay. We all got them, man. We got the light bill is due. Centerpoint ain't playing with nobody. Centerpoint ain't playing with nobody. If you ain't got their money, they're gonna cut you off. You know what I'm saying? So yes, that is a primary factor to how an agent may waver on their ability to show that their interest is for on their potential client side. But you got to be strong as an agent, and you got to be understanding and saying, look, once I gain this quote unquote client's trust, in hopes they go be with me and we're gonna ride together through this transaction, through their family's transaction, through their family's transactions to make it work. I hope that answered your question.
Right. And then shout out to Matthew. He said he always pays his realtor for that time, even though he may not buy the house. I'm like, man,
you're a bad boy, Matthew.
Right. Hey, I can count on one hand how many people might do
that. Hey, what Matthew follow? Let me call him and talk with him. Say, what's up, Matthew? How you hold it up, man? How you hold it up, Big Matt? How you hold it up?
Disclaimer: Can I get my answer on without muting nobody?
Hey, B. I recommend that you don't ask a question and you can get it out.
Right. Give your answer first, because you always trying to go last like you got something profound.
All right, cool. So we're actually split on this. I agree with CJ. I think that people do trust to a certain extent. They might not trust your ass, and I think it's the skill that needs to that you develop to make yourself trustworthy and make your company trustworthy. You know, so you got to break down more barriers and you got to do a better job. I wrote down this, and I was watching a lecture the other day with the boy Brandon Carter, and he said, in your verbiage, whenever you use the word hard, you need to replace with the word hard. Nothing is hard. You just need to improve. You just need to do better. You know, so you got to do better at being trustworthy or garnering trust, and that's part of the job. You know, that's part of your job as a salesperson, because people buy from who they like, trust, and believe. Trust is the middle thing. They gotta like you, they gotta trust you, they gotta believe you. And people, I disagree that people is going throughout society because, like CJ said, then nothing would get done. They trust you with this $500,000 to guide you to the $500,000 most important investment that they might make in their life. They trusting you to hey, this is my guy, Brandon B. Dixon. He's the coldest loan officer on the planet. Okay, well, I'm going to go with him and not even look at it anyway. So the trust is there. He just had the skills enough to actually garner that trust. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, how this relates to one another, I think when people lose deals, when things go off the rails, I think we got to look in the mirror. Especially agents, instead of directing the energy everywhere else, and look in the mirror. Like when it falls apart, I think, and they say this in Bug's Life. And then this is what I learned. Bugs Life was an old cartoon. It was one of the first cartoons that had that 3D effect. What's that thing called? Like the anyway, it was Bugs Life. It was about ants and butterflies and stuff like that. It was a kid's story. And the hive got raided, the ant pile got raided, and the ant said, "Hey, this wasn't my fault." And the guy said, "Man, in management, everything is your fault." You know, and I took it because I've been in management, retail management all my life. So I took that not only with my career, but even when I'm in real estate. Not everything's your fault. If you're not getting the results that you want, it's your fault. If you don't get the deal, it's your fault. You didn't do something right.
Yeah.
You gonna have to
and especially as a realtor, who they look at when it goes wrong.
Hold
Hey,
on.
Hyman, when it all goes wrong on the real estate transaction, who they look at?
It's your fault as the agent.
Realtor.
They the realtor, yeah.
So
and that falls in line with a book I read called Extreme Ownership.
Right.
And it's like written by these Navy SEALs, Jocko Willink and Lee Babin, but they talk about how even though somebody may have messed up, you in a leadership position is your fault because you should have put them in a better position to do well and succeed at whatever their task was.
Right. You are the quarterback as the agent.
Putting people in position, CJ, that's a great point. So as being brokers at what we are, we have to consistently hone our skill set on who we put in position, who our LOs are, the people to our left, who our LOs are. You know what I'm saying? Top and bottom, or are they in the right position to be what they're supposed to be? Who our title company is? As a slight crack at you two rascals on the left side of us.
Right. Well, you pointed the wrong direction.
And at the same time, and at the same time, even if you're the listing agent and your client accepts an offer from a buyer, you are responsible for what that buyer's lender is doing. Because if you don't stay on top of them, because your job is to make sure it closes.
Yeah, right. Man. And I've done so many deals where I've actually had to. I can be honest with you. That young man to my left, you're right, a quarter left. He's taught me so much as far as how to talk to a lender and speak lender language. It's helped me throughout my career 100%. I can get on the phone with a lender and they think I'm a LO on myself. Hey, man, you bullshit me, man. Your appraiser didn't tell you no shit like that. The appraiser take 14 days. What's the AMC say? What's the AMC date? You know what I'm saying? I put the AMC date out on. I put all kinds of shit out there.
They're like, how you know that?
Yeah. I've been schooled by the best, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, back to the overall point of the night is that, it's all about honing your skills and sharpening your skills till you master them. And trust is everything. If you want to be I think while MJ was the best at basketball, I'm gonna cross it over into Corey's lane. I think MJ was the GOAT. And the reason why I think MJ was the GOAT is because he controlled the game. If he won, he made the game come to his pace. I think the difference between
you think MJ better than Kareem?
Yeah, I think Kareem was more of a team player and he had a lot of skill, but MJ controlled the game. And I'm talking about not only on the court, off the court. He controlled the reps.
They took the dunk away because of Kareem.
Huh?
They took the slam dunk. You couldn't even dunk because of Kareem because they felt he had an unfair advantage. They ain't changed the game because of MJ.
But Mike controlled the game.
He controlled it, but they didn't change it because of him.
I mean, I don't get what you're saying.
I mean, they changed the game a little bit with AI in the crossover, you know what I'm saying? But that don't mean necessarily he the best player that ever come through the NBA. So, you know what I'm saying?
Right, look at the stats, though. Look at the stats.
Yeah, just they done changed plenty of rules because a player did.
You ain't never met Martin Luther King.
They changed the rim because of Shaq. Does that mean he's the best dunker of all time? No. They changed the rim. They changed the whole rim because of Shaq. Because does that mean he's the best of all time?
He might be the best center.
MJ was the GOAT because he had all facets of the game. He controlled the tempo of the game. He controlled the fans, how many fans will show up. He controlled the referees. The referees were scared to even call anything on Jordan. He controlled the marketing of the game. He revolutionized the shoe game. All aspects of the business, Michael Jordan pioneered, revolutionized, and changed the face of the game. Now, LeBron was a better physical specimen, of course. But
nah, we ain't even putting LeBron in this category. He ain't that. It's a different. This is
right.
yeah.
But the reason why MJ the GOAT is because he controlled the game, and with this particular with real estate, and if you're an agent, if you're in sales, you have to control the game. You're in control. Nobody else.
No matter what side you're on.
Right. You got to control the game. You need the skills to be aware to how to control the nuance, to be aware of these nuances to control the game, because you're the quarterback. You can't curse out a wide receiver because they ain't catch a pass. Or because the defense give up 21 points, you cursing out a wide receiver.
That sound good. You know what I'm saying? that sounds, you know what I'm saying, like somebody drew that thing up and I don't even know if the execution is gonna go that way. So you know what I'm saying? You can try to control the game as much as you can, but this is people, man. You can't force everybody to do what you want them to do.
It ain't not force.
It ain't force. You gotta have that finesse in your skill set too.
Right.
Wow, that finesse in our skill set. Man,
right. Well,
just like Hyman came on with
I don't know if that's not the right word, but it's cool. It's okay. We all understand where you're coming from, CJ.
Yeah, finesse.
It's just like Hyman came on with the late night like Quiet Storm voice. You got to be able to tweet to him.
You got to have a Marco Fool. You know what I'm saying?
It's like what we're gonna do next is we're gonna have to talk to
hold up, man.
Well, the thing is too as well. Some might not be your crowd, so you got to like those who like you, and you got to know what your crowd is. I used to have this saying, "Awareness is godliness." So you got to be aware of your limitations, your strengths and weaknesses. So that's the only way you're gonna get better.
You know what? You are so right. I agree 100% about knowing who is for you and who is not for you. But when you know who's for you, that's only a percentage.
Right.
That's not the whole market. That's not the whole world.
Facts.
But when you talk
100% of the market,
you talk about saying, well, you're going to be the best of the best of the best. But I can only be the best of the best at who's a part of my market, that who I can quote unquote vibe with, who can understand how I communicate, who I can advise in a level that they see where I'm coming from. That's not the whole world of the world.
Right.
It's not 100% of the people you're going to run into. And that has nothing to do with skill.
Nah, can I rebuttal?
Ooh, don't talk about it, Corey.
Can I rebuttal? Pretend this was a mirror, and let's look in the mirror one more time. Because let's look at that mirror one more time, because if your thing is small, that means you need to broaden your horizon and largen that base up. That way you can help more people. And as you help more people, America loves a winner. That's when more people will jump on the bandwagon. So it's back to you again. If your percentage of the market is so small, you need to broaden your horizons.
Who said the percentage is that small? But what you're saying is, if your negotiation skill set is like that, you want to be able to control 100% of the market, right?
No. Nobody said you're not gonna be able to sell everybody. That's y'all could cross the two things that don't go together.
Well, then
you're not going to be able to sell everybody.
Right.
But your percentage shouldn't be so small the way you can't eat. I'm saying I'm going by what Hyman's saying. That's saying that how can I
just said you can't be there for everybody.
Hold on a second. Do I have to mute you?
Hey, but look, if you're making your point, all I want you to do is be a little bit more accurate. B.
Hey, be passing out the music like Oprah, boy.
Hey, you get me. Yeah, why every time I talk I get jammed up? But
because you're the host.
I'm rebutting what Hyman's saying is that he's saying that if I want to be the best of the best, if I only go with people that vibe with me, that's going to be not small enough to actually make that possible. My point, my rebuttal to that is that you should expand that. It's up to you to get to make your base expandable and make your base as big as it can be.
So let me ask you this question then, B. All Hyman said and all the point he was trying to make is that you can't be for everybody. Who said that was small?
I don't disagree with that.
Who said? Did he say that was a small percentage?
He said, in order to be the best of the best, how can I do that when I only get people that buy with me? And my rebuttal to that was, hey, you need to get more people that buy with you.
But who said that vibe was small? Who said that percentage was small? That's what you came
Well,
up with.
he was juxtaposing it to being the best of the best.
Look, nobody on this panel, nobody in the world gets along with everybody. I'm not going to say you're saying your percentage is small because you don't get along with everybody. Like,
no. He was trying to say that he was trying to separate the two, saying that how can I be the best of the best when I only mess with people that buy with me? My rebut to that is that you need to expand your base the way you can still be the best of the best, and I have a larger pool of people that buy with me where I can make that happen.
Is that what you were saying, bro?
It's just a good discussion. So my
point is, you're not gonna get 100% of people.
I was just enjoying the discussion. You know what I'm saying, CJ? I was like, yeah, okay, yeah. You know how you begin looking like, yeah, okay, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, go.
Hey, he was doing tennis, like.
But am I right or wrong? If you gotta look back in that mirror, man. If you don't have enough people to eat, it might be something with you. And if you don't have enough people that vibe with you, in order you can put up enough. Huh?
I said, who says he ain't eating?
I'm
making a lot
saying,
of assumptions on here, B. That's all I'm saying. You making a lot of assumptions that ain't nobody necessarily said anything. That's all I'm saying.
He made the point of it's only a certain percentage of people that I don't see why you don't see this. That only a certain percentage of people that's gonna buy with me. This was his words verbatim.
So certain means small. That's what you're saying.
Certain as when he juxtaposed it to being the best of the best. You put those two in a sentence together. Yes, that means that.
That doesn't mean that, B.
Well, it means that.
When it comes down to be the best of the best, it's the best of the best of those who you work with.
No,
I can't go capture. Here's the thing, B Dix. I can't go capture every audience that you have because I don't vibe the same way you vibe. I don't communicate the way you do. I don't speak the way you do. So I can't expect to come in your market share and capture 70% of your market share. I can't expect that. If I capture 10%, that's a win on my part. If I capture 10% of your market share. CJ, if I work in your sphere, I'm not you and you're not me and I don't vibe the way you do. If I come in your market share and capture 10%, I'm up 10% in B Dix, I'm up 10% in CJ. If I come to Corey and I capture 10% out of him, out of his market share, that's 30% of market share that I've captured that wasn't in my sphere. From a business perspective, that's great because I've reduced your ability to generate revenue by 10%. That's it. Now I don't have to be the best in your market share, Corey, your market share B, or your market share CJ. All I gotta do is go ahead and capture a percentage of your share to affect you to realize, like, fuck, this limit is coming in and capturing a little bit too much of what I'm doing right now. I need to see what he's doing and either do better what I'm doing or bring him a part of what you're doing. Period. Business one-on-one. If I come in your market and capture any portion of your market share to where you notice me, then that's something that you're not doing right.
My question is this: can you
see Tennessee State over there shook his head and said, "Yeah, I don't think you saw that." Shake your head again from one more time. Shake your head one more time for CJ. Shake your head. Yeah, that's true. That's business 101, dog. Business 101. I don't have to come in and be the best of the best in your market. All I gotta do is capture enough.
Right. If I can pull enough off your plate, you're gonna notice and you're gonna find like hey, hold on.
The way y'all went with this. My point is this: can you be a top performer? Let me reshuffle the words. Can you be a top performer based on your personality?
Yes.
All right. Well,
you got to do it. If in my share, I can be number one in the personality the people who vibe with me. I got to be number one first. Then I got to go to Corey and capture 10, maybe 15. I got to go to UB and capture 10 to 15, and I got to go to CJ and capture 10 to 15. If I do that, I'm in the top 1% because I've captured a portion of the market share out of you three. That doesn't mean I bankrupt U3. I just captured enough to push me above U3 for you to understand, like, oh snap, I got to look out for this young man because he's capturing just a little bit too much. If I was only capturing 5%, you wouldn't care about me. But when I get to that 10, then you'll notice, like, oh, I got 3 deals I'm supposed to have, but he came and got 3 deals for me. That's a big effect. If the average market price today's realm is 300,000, so if I get 3 deals from Corey, that's 27,000 out of his books. That's 27,000 out of your books. B, 27,000 out of CJ books.
You're on a loop.
My
You're
books
like,
just
you're
went
like
up.
808 beat
What's
right now.
that?
You're saying the same thing over and over.
80,000.
You're saying the same thing over and over.
Just
What I'm
for
saying
you.
is this: you kind of agreeing with what I'm saying. You're proving my point. My point was that, you know, if you want to actually be a top 1% or top performer, be the best of the best, then you just need to expand your base. You need to expand yourself and expand your horizon. That's all I was saying. You know, y'all went into some tangent. I don't know where y'all went with it, but that's what I'm saying. So if you're not getting the results that you want, you got to look back in the mirror. That's all I'm saying. You know, so if people are not vibing with your personality, people don't trust what you're saying, you don't have the negotiation skills, you got to sharpen all that. That's my point. That's the point of the whole night. You got to. It's all about skills and all about practice and all about getting better and all about looking in the mirror, finding ways to win. Because if you point the finger, don't forget, you point the finger, you got 4. What is it? 4 more point back at you, or 3 more point back at you? What is
4
it?
more point back. That's the Jail Avert song right there.
Yeah. So you got 4 more point back at you. So it all goes back to you. Don't forget, it's called Universe. You know what I mean? So it's all on you. You know, so that's my point of the night. Is that you know, yeah, it's all skill. It's all skill. I don't know what that is, but
Take my notes like I always do.
right. So with that being said, we can go ahead and wrap it up. I know it's past CJ's bedtime, man. You know,
You stay putting it on me.
right. So I can rock to
dog.
we
Yeah, we got
will.
kids, man.
If it
How
wasn't
old
for
are
DJ,
I'll be the scapegoat if it make you feel better.
how
nah,
old are your kids, CJ?
Say what?
How old are your kids?
I only got one. She'll be 2 in September.
Dang, she sleep already.
Yeah, she out of there.
She out of there.
y'all be going to eat at late this night. I'm done with the eating, man. I'm about to get down, man. You know, so I can put the sexy realtor or the sexy.
Hey man, you need to stop eating so late, B Dix. You shouldn't eat nothing else. You should stop
I
eating.
don't eat this late. I'm done. I finished at 6 o'clock.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I go say you need to do like Jay Prince. He only eat once a day.
Really?
I
Yeah.
can't do once a day because you know,
Jay Prince
the
is once a day.
sugar. Once I get down, you know what I'm saying, I might could do that, but I've been, you know, one of them episodes like my sugar get too low.
You diabetic, B Dix?
That's what they say, but I don't believe it.
Oh, you
I ain't
borderline?
gonna lie
or
though.
you
I still gotta
diabetic?
go try that trail burger one time just to see.
Yeah, no, I almost kicked the bucket last year, man. The year before last. When was it? You know what I mean?
Are you serious? So we gotta, hey, every now and again we gotta call B Dix to make sure he alive, and then we gotta do a welfare check on him. Somebody got you got, hey CJ, you got B Dix address so we can send a welfare check on him if he don't show up.
Yeah, we can send it.
You got his address?
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we call CJ, do a
But
welfare check on you. We won't hear from you, dog.
But now, like I said, but that, you know, Dad in that pokey put well, that really didn't scare me because I figured the hospital was full of it. Was scared? Well, I'm not. I don't use the word scared because I'm not scared of anything. What put me on alert was the collaboration over competition. The second one when that heat whooped me.
Yeah, that heated.
That heat tore his ass up.
And he told me up right now. And like I said, I used to work out at Memorial Park, like with the sauna suit, so I'm used to the heat. Like, but not no more.
No sir.
You know, this is some new age heat. This is new and improved heat. I don't know what's going on.
Well, B, if you don't come out the house enough to get acclimated to this heat, man, that's to be expected.
Everything atrophy. I got atrophy. It was muscle atrophy. Everything like that. I was. It took me. I had to meditate. I had to do everything not to pass out in front of all these people, man.
Man, hold up, man.
You know what I'm saying? I almost did the big pokey. Like I feel what he's saying. Like I was that close. Like man, I pass out. I fall out right here on the ground. It's gonna be embarrassing.
Wow.
So I had to go in the car for a minute. You know. What I'm
Did you
saying?
figure out what it was, or was it just you was overheated?
Nah, it was. Didn't eat anything.
Oh snap!
Yeah, so that's another thing. I ain't eat all day. I was in the heat from 2 to 7.
Yeah, that'll do it, man.
You know what I'm saying? And I ain't been in the heat like that in a minute. And so,
Yeah,
you know, you talking and, you know, I can understand Pokey was rapping, blah, 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 blah. But you talking is kind of the same thing, man. Everybody want to talk to me, boom, boom. I'm talking, one conversation, another conversation. And you just talking and talking and talking.
What's interesting about it? Nobody knew you enough to see that you wasn't in your right mind to say, "Well, hey, hold on, B."
They was down and all of them.
No, we peeped it. Yeah, we peeped it, but it had already whooped them.
Right.
Yeah, man, I'd have been like, look, dog, stop for a minute. Did you eat you something, man? Come on, let's go get you something to eat, and we'll cover for you at that moment, dog. Because that
we made him go sit in the car and everything, bro.
That's good. That's good, man.
I had to take my shoes off and everything. I'm in that. I'm like, man, I was. And see the thing that you know you like to be in control.
Yeah.
So this was out of my control, like you know what I mean, for the most part.
So you out of your element, then, B.
Yeah, I'm like out of my element, like that. Damn, I want to do this, but I can't. So that's the part that put me on alert. I couldn't see right now. So if one of them youngsters, I get into one of them youngsters. One of them youngsters whooped me right now. I gotta get. I got no win like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I gotta get back. I gotta get in shape, get that boxing gym. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta get back right, man. I didn't realize I was that far gone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you know, in your mind, I like, yeah, man. Somebody step out. I hit it with the 2-piece.
Yeah. No.
Hey, you better drop him with that 2-piece.
I might cramp up trying to hit that on that second one. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? So that's how far I'm going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I got to get back in shape, man. Like I said, I didn't know I was that far out of shape.
For real.
Until Saturday.
That's what it takes, man. That's what it takes, man. It takes sometimes we get putting ourselves in positions to like realize
to really see it.
We're not where we need to be.
And then
I realized that one time, man, we was at the park with my wife and the family, and we was throwing the football around. And you know when they throw you that pass, you try to hit that quick cut to go get it. I hit that quick cut to go get it. Oh, I was like, okay, I gotta do better.
You ain't going nowhere.
I gotta do better than this. And ever since then, I've been trying to be better. Ever since then.
Right. I mean, it's a couple things as well, man. Like I said, I realized, like I said, in order to be the best version of self, you got to have the physical. Because you know, once you get to a higher level, you get past the physical, and you're in a whole higher realm of thinking. So you like kind of leave this earthly stuff behind, you know. So that's the way I was, and so I'm like, man, I'm not even worried about this. But in order to be the best version that you can, you got to dwell in the physical a little bit.
Yeah, you have to dwell in the physical because the people see the physical, dog.
Right. And people, no matter how, you know what I'm saying, you try to deny that they're wrong, you can't tell them that they're wrong because their perception is their reality.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
you jump out that big range, you're still a big boy jumping out the big range, no matter how clean you are.
Right. The thing is, like I said, with that, it don't matter no more.
Nah.
You know, because it's all about the bankroll big.
I don't disagree that you make money.
Hey, if you got the bankroll, you really can't enjoy it how you want to.
Trying to keep you healthy, dog.
Right. I'm not disagreeing, but I'm saying my mind was I still ain't dip off in that department. I know where you're going. I still because the bankroll. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta accept the fact that your bankroll can't make you be smaller than what you are.
Right,
your bankroll can be small, but if you're small, it doesn't make a difference.
Give me a fat boy BBL. What are the, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? FBL or whatever they come.
I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
You know what I'm saying? I can get the light or whatever.
Here's what I do, man. I lost 50 pounds, man. I lost 50 pounds back in during the pandemic. B. I lost 50 pounds, man.
Right.
I told Corey this. Say I used to drink this drink, apple cider vinegar, two tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, a tablespoon of sea salt, a tablespoon of lemon juice, and water. Drink it every morning and don't eat until 12 o'clock. Just start right there.
Right, you'd be acidic.
You got to be careful with the apple cider vinegar. That's gonna burn your insides out.
Yeah, it's gonna definitely burn you. That's gonna.
And to be honest with you, I guess if it burn your insides out, it burned me out where I lost a lot of weight. Man, I lost.
What it's doing is breaking down your cells. It's breaking down your cells.
I was at 289, dog, and I'm down to 2 right now. I'm up between 245 and 246.
Man, you were looking. I thought you was in the ones, man.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah,
thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I thought you, like, you look like about $1.85, man. $1.90.
Yeah, but so I lost all that. Now I'm just in maintain. I can eat whatever I want to, but I still intermittent fast and I ride my bike every morning.
Right.
Like how you say you get up every morning and let your feet touch the earth and you walk. That's great. It's just one of those things that you got to get that metabolism moving, man. And that drink that I drink, dog. Some people I'll put cayenne pepper in it. It's a hybrid version of the Beyonce drink. That's how everybody know it. The Beyonce drink. She puts ginger in hers. I don't put ginger in mine. But it works, dog. It suppresses your appetite. You gotta realize, I gotta eat.
Well, you know what my problem was?
What was it?
I ate out every day. I used to spend like $100 a day, $80 to $100 a day.
Oh, yeah, man, you gotta eat.
You know what I mean?
By yourself?
Yeah. You gotta eat lean, dog. You gotta eat lean. Like I was eating chicken.
I show you some of my bills, my bills, man. Like I'm saving so much money. I done saved probably $1,000 in 2 weeks. Goddamn, I was eating the range. I'm eating the whatever I want. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was spending, that's about $30,000 a year I was spending on food because I ate out every day.
So do you feel like you was eating food because you just enjoy food, or was you eating food as a fuel?
No, the food actually nasty. So
was it fuel for you, or was it just enjoyment for you?
Nah, this is what it is. I'm gonna give y'all. I'm gonna have to go over there. Let's go over there with this one. I can't I can't give y'all too much. Y'all gotta get the book, man. If I decide to write the book. But man, we're gonna see y'all next week, man.
Oh, you gotta get past the point where food has to be fuel, not enjoyment, though.